Nope.
Oh. I'm just going to confirm that it works. I don't trust you, Ward.
It's on. See, look, you're there. You're live. You're
All
13
right.
seconds
All
in
right.
there. Trust me.
Hey guys, welcome to the next lighter side of RC After Dark Live. This is episode 12. Let me know if you can hear me. Obviously, it's always nice to make sure that you guys can hear us. Obviously, we're rocking the double mics today. I think we've got the audio adjusted a little bit. Last 2 weeks ago episode was a little bit crazy. The volume was really loud and very clippy. So 2 weeks ago, I'm trying to think about, I like to start these with a summary of what's happened over the past 2 weeks. And there has been a lot going on. We have a lot to cover as far as summaries go. The first thing that I'm going to tell you guys about, I need to make sure you guys can read the comments, or Ward can see the comments.
Yeah, it popped up.
Live chat. There we go. So, excuse me. Katie was at a volleyball tournament. She's actually on her way home right now. I'm not sure if she's going to join us for the live, but Ward's manning the camera, and that's it. We got no more company tonight, just the two of us. Nez is over in the chair. She's been sleeping there all day and has not moved at all since about noon. So summary of what's been going on. So probably the biggest thing is channel membership. Now, I mentioned it in today's video. So channel membership for YouTube has been around for a long time, but one of the features they just added was members can see the videos early. So as it sits right now, if you're a channel member, it's a paid service. So just keep that in mind. After today's video, 2 people joined the channel memberships already, which is cool. Thank you. It's a paid service, but as of right now, if you join as a channel member, you can see the Hangar 9 339 unboxing. That video's up there waiting for you to watch it. That's Wednesday's video. Next Saturday's video, so a week from today, is the first video in the SU30. And that video's up for members to watch. If you're a non-member, you have to wait till Saturday. So that's the biggest thing probably in the past couple weeks that's changed. Obviously, the SU30 is progressing very well. We're just finishing up video number 4 in the SU30. So today, during this live, we will finish recording episode 4. Next Saturday is episode 1. So anyways, if you're interested in checking out the channel membership, just there's links on the regular channel. If you go to my homepage, like the lighter side of RC, there's a membership tab. Anyways, today's video with the F16, there is a link to get a membership. So, Ward, if people have any questions or comments or anything, let me know.
Basically, I'm getting a lot of highs from Tasmania and New Zealand and
Perfect.
Everything else. Everybody's saying hi, that they're here.
Awesome.
Had one asking you, how do you join that paid channel?
Perfect, thank you. So if you watch today's F16 video, there's a link in the first comment, which I put on there, that's pinned at the top. And there is a link in the video description. I think it's set to $20 a month. It's a monthly thing, but I will continue to upload videos early. And usually, guys, I'm ahead. Like right now, I'm actually ahead by 4 weeks in videos. I haven't made them all, but I've got 8 videos in the queue that have already been recorded. So anyways, we're way ahead, which is super awesome. Other updates. Let's go for a little walk here so we're not sitting for too long. So we did a bunch of rearranging in the shop. Last Saturday, Ward helped me and we built another one of our airplane stands. So that's done. Took the Super Elan out of the trailer, got it winterized. I was actually really worried that I wouldn't have anywhere to put this thing because it's so big. But when you take the booms off and everything off, it works so well with these stands because this side actually fits right through the other side of the stand. So it fits perfectly. Once we get things a little rearranged here, the Super Elan's probably going to be up top because it's such a short airplane. So anyways, we got a ton more space now. got rid of all of our junk over there. These shelves used to be right where that airplane stand where the Superland was, so now we got all of our shelves here. There's still a little bit of cleanup to do, but we got so much more room. Golf clubs, don't ever get to use those enough. Yeah, a little shipping, receiving stuff here, and then another plane stand, of course. So, whoa, I also put wing storage up here and a nice new light. So if we go like this, it's much brighter back here. So yeah, put a bunch of hooks up there. So we got wing storage, and just worked out awesome. So, but I think we are now fully busting at the seams because we've pretty much maximized every square foot of floor space in this shop. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so
Think
too.
so? Need some help?
Yeah, I can't get that up.
You gotta just pull in the center. There you go. So that's been the kind of the main focus last weekend. We got the T33 started, so video number 1 of the T33 is scheduled to come out, I think, in a week and a half. That's already been uploaded to YouTube, so that'll be available for channel members soon. Going together really well. Really looking forward to this kit. I do pretty much have my scheme selected, and when you watch the first video, the silver and red scheme is pretty much the one that I'm going to be going with. And anyways, I'm really happy with this kit so far. I did have to order some new pieces from BVM, so that's actually why this has been sitting for a week now, because we're waiting for those new pieces. So we've got this former right here. This is an upgraded one. It's carbon laminated balsa, but the newest version has a bunch of cutouts and openings and stuff in it, so that one's on its way. So anyways, yeah, that's been the focus a little bit last week. The SU30 is, we're probably half done, maybe 60% done. By the end of tomorrow, I think it'll be finished with, well, pretty much finished with the exception of engine install, and we changed some things around. So we are going to be getting a Central Box 210 instead of the 300 series that we currently have. But yeah, the SU is awesome. Yeah, the wings are done, tail's done, all the surfaces are done, all the servos are installed. Today we've been working on the vectored thrust nozzles. So those are finished. That's in today's video. The chute mechanism, the stinger's all done. The chute's actually installed right now. The power's plugged in and everything. And our chute's actually in there right now. So the back end of this plane, with the exception of the engines, is complete. So we're going to wrap this plane up and then wait. I think November 20th, the engines are shipping. So that's one of the first 240s from Zykoy. That pair is coming here to the shop. So we'll do a test on that engine. We'll test video, a separate video. And then the pair of 240s are going in this plane.
Okay, now we had a lot of questions. Somebody wants to know about your paintballs. Where did you get them and what are they? Chad says hi.
Hey Chad, I thought you were going to show up today. I'm disappointed.
Get in your truck and get over here.
Yep, see you in 20 minutes.
And what's the best flying jet you flew this year? You have to forgive me, guys. I'm slow reading the stuff.
Yeah,
and
he's not as on
and
it
I don't
as
want to
Katie.
interview John when he gets on this computer. So
These balls are awesome. These actually came from our gym. So we owned a gym a few years ago, and these are just gym balls. So they're,
Greg.
I don't know if there's a specific brand. Well, they're Fitness Basics, but I mean, anything works. So they're just silicone. They're filled with like sand, I think, I would assume. This is an 8-pound one, a 6-pound one, and I have them deflated so they sit nicely and work for so many different things. So yeah, they're just fitness balls is all they are, but they've been super handy with various things. And then these guys too. These are some of the small ones. I don't even know if there's a weight, maybe a pound or something, but they're just the small ones. So if you have something small inside the aircraft to weigh down, like I did today's video, the pilot in the F-16, I glued him in there and put 2 balls on his lap, and that's that's how he got stuck in. What was the other question?
Well, I've got a whole bunch here. I'm trying to
Ask
bring them
away.
up here.
So yeah, if you guys have questions, if this is your first live, ask away. Ward's wearing a mic, so hopefully you can hear him well
He
too.
asked what size extra large. Some people want to know how you paid for the planes.
The nicest plane that I flew this year?
Yeah, and what one was the nicest plane you flew?
You can scroll backwards through the comments too.
Okay.
So the nicest plane I flew this year, that's a good question, obviously. Like for my own planes, the year started off with the Bull, which sucked because second flight it crashed. That plane flew really well. But the easiest plane I flew this year was definitely the Super Elan. That thing is so easy to fly. It's so massive in the sky. It's such a nice plane. I actually thought about selling it last week, and because it fits so well on the stand, I'm actually having second thoughts. So part of the reason I was going to sell it was like, I don't have anywhere to put the damn thing, but it fits beautifully there. So I don't think I'm going to be selling it.
You still have the F-18 going.
I know. My Kinetics, that's probably my favorite this year because it's a big plane, but it's also so light and it's built very well, so you can really yank the thing around. So those are my favorites out of mine. Yeah, flew the Rebel a couple of weeks ago in California. The Rebel that size, the Classic, that was totally tons of fun. That was Coco's Rebel that I flew, and yeah, it was awesome.
Velocity Addiction assembled his free-wing L-39 and F-4 Phantom
Nice.
today, charging to go flying tomorrow morning.
Cool, both good planes. Both good planes.
Okay, and Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, did you have to take the saddlebags while traveling the MiG? Traversing the MiG.
Well, this thing is huge. That's part of the problem with it is anytime I want to move this thing around, I need help. I can't lift this by myself. And that's actually one of the reasons I've got it set up on the table here. So the owner, David, he's got one of these already, and he actually transports it on the gear, which is perfect for this thing because it's got locks that hold the wheels down. The gear's very stout. And right now I've got the balls holding it in place, but I also have a strap here as well too. So if I take these balls out of the nose, it would actually tip backwards because we've got the back end all finished, right? So I don't really need the balls in there anymore, but yeah, so I've got it strapped to the table as well, but if I want to raise it up, I can lift the whole table up. So there was something you said about paying for aircraft or something like that?
Yeah, well, Zig Radio Control wants to know which planes you can sell him. He likes an F-16. And Tiger RC wants to know what your thoughts on the MB339. Also, what motor are you using in it?
Okay, pause there. So the 339, it's good. I talk about it a little bit in the unboxing video. It's a nice aircraft. I like it. It's finished really nice on the inside, and the reason it's finished really nice is because they put like a fake layer of carbon fiber to hide all the wood. So that kit is all wood, right? The fuselage is wood. If you compare it to something like the Ranger, which is up there on the top left. So the Ranger, all the surfaces are wood, including the wings, but the fuselage is fiberglass. So totally different fit and finish on the inside. The 339 obviously is all wood, but they made it look really good because of the fake carbon, and then they've got a lot of carbon laminated former work, well, almost all of it's carbon laminated wood, so it's actually a really nice looking aircraft. Should be a good build. The hardware looks really good with it. The engine we're putting in it is a Swewin 80, which is what's going in there, and that aircraft is for one of my customers. So.
Okay, let me see here. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay. How many planes do you have, and have you fell in love with customer planes that you want to keep?
I fall in love with so many customer planes. That's probably one of the benefits of building planes for other people is I'm unenthusiastic when it comes to planes. Like when this showed up, I was super excited about it. You know, if another F-18 shows up, meh, you know, I'm not, it's just another F-18, that's huge. It comes just because you're around them so much, that's the problem. Yeah, I've fallen in love with tons of customer planes. What am I thinking with the big Coleman engine? The Strega. Love that plane as well. That's Stacy's Strega. I love it. It's amazing. That Rebel, I absolutely love. David's Rebel up there. I kind of wish it would just stay here in the shop. And the Hawk there, that's not mine as well. I love that one, even though it's not even done yet. But yeah, there's a lot of planes that I've fallen in love with, for sure.
Okay, Ziggy Radio asks, which turbine composite jet shall he get? He's asked that a couple times. I'm sorry, I'm not getting onto these questions fast enough. And do you have a Carbon Z Cub sitting in your loft by Velocity?
Yes. So there's a Carbon Cub up there, the pink one, on the left-hand side. That's Katie's. Up there as well is a Taylorcraft. That's got a 26cc Zenoa engine in it. That's mine. I haven't flown it in 2 years. If somebody wants to buy it, you can buy it. I feel bad when I don't fly planes that I own. So that thing just sits there, but it works amazing and it's a fun flyer. Up in my mezzanine is AeroWorks Yak 55 or 54. I can't remember the model. It's a 50cc or 55cc gas engine in there, a DLE. And I haven't flown that once this year. I flew it last year a little bit because near the end of the season, but I haven't flown it this year. So that's another plane that if somebody was wanting to buy it, they could buy it, and I wouldn't miss it. So
Dave wants to know if the giant Elan will be safe to fly on a short grass field.
Absolutely. The Elan, so some of my first flights on that plane that were videoed, our field that I normally fly at is 800 feet long. The first section of field is 200 feet. The newest section of field is 600 feet, and I easily land that thing in 200 feet and stop it before the transition to the new section of runway. So,
well, and I was recording it one time.
Yeah.
He stopped faster than I was moving. I was moving, and all of a sudden he stopped, and I kept on moving. I had to pull back. That's how quick that thing stops.
Yeah, the Super Elan is like, and
wow.
I haven't pulled the CG back at all this year, but I think if we pull the CG back, we can get it slowing down even more. Basically, it would come in and just kind of do this. So, yeah, it's totally a short grass runway plane, no problem.
And Tiger RC wants to know if you'll be coming to Miami Jets in Florida this year.
Good question. That's a bit of a toss-up. My friend David, it kind of depends on his schedule. So it's planned, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to happen. So I'd like to make it happen, but we'll have to see how things work out. So maybe. Next official event that I'm going to is, that's in my schedule anyways, is down in Phoenix, middle of March. I think March 15th to 17th, something like that. There's one at the end of February I'm not going to be at, but I'm going to drive down for the one in the middle of March. So.
Okay, come on here. And RC Modder, looks like a Zig King Cobra hanging.
It is.
Did you build it?
I didn't. That came from a friend, and it's set up as electric. It's a super light plane. It flies really nice. But since I've had it, I haven't flown it. I think it's set up for like a 4-cell LiPo or maybe 3-cell or something. But yeah, it's a really nice plane actually. I didn't build it, but it is built by. It's actually built by a local guy. I can't remember his name right now, but anyways, he's a really good builder, and eventually made it here. So.
David says Tucson event is, golly, gee whiz, March 14th to 17th.
Yes, Tucson.
Yeah. And the trailing link landing gear makes a big diff on grass.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And Willie wants to know if this is a full-time job or just a very good hobby.
Good question, Willie. I actually work 2 jobs. So I work a regular job. I only work Monday to Thursday, and I don't officially work the other days, but I have my phone with me. I manage a construction company, and my second full-time job is this. So I actually probably put more hours into the planes than I do at my regular job. So evenings I'm here in the shop typically, and then Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays during the winter anyways, I'm out here for 16 to maybe 18 hours a day. Some days 12, but 16 hours is not uncommon. Like today, started here in the shop at 9 o'clock this morning. It's 7 o'clock now, so I've been out here for 10 hours and probably will wrap things up at midnight. So that's like 15 hours, I think. 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah.
I put in
hours.
8 Saturdays.
So,
Okay. I love RC says he's saving up for his, oh, come on, Jesus. Okay, he's saving up for his first scale F-16.
nice.
Would you recommend a BVM or Skymaster? Also, which distributor are you using for your Skymaster?
Oh, good questions. I like both. Depends on what size, I think. Like the Skymaster F-16, the 1/6 scale size, the BVM 1/6 scale, so the size down from that one. Both great planes. You really can't go with either of them. The one thing that I will tell you that Skymaster wins out of any other manufacturer is the landing gear. The BVM stuff is awesome. The central control units, the gear and everything works really well. But every Skymaster kit, whether it's their small ones or the big ones, they've all got air oil oleos or gear, which makes it adjustable, performs better. So for that reason alone, the gear on the Skymaster is the winner, but overall the kits doesn't really matter. Katie, are you coming? Katie's here. Ward's a little sucky on the phone.
When you do it, when do you expect to do some videos on the come on, I lost it again. On the MB33 build, 339 build, yeah.
Well, if you're a channel member, there's already a video up there right now that you could watch. Video number 1, not the unboxing. Yeah, the unboxing of the 339 is already up there. So channel members, you guys can watch it already. If you're not a channel member, that is Wednesday's video. This coming Wednesday's video is the 339 unboxing.
Okay, and Ziggy Radio asks, I'm kind of on a budget, which is the best turbine composite jet, that I have to ask to get for myself for Christmas.
If you're on a budget, I would go with like a Boomerang, like a Ranger, an Elan, a regular Elan. Awesome options. You can go into the foam side of things. Like a lot of guys are flying the foam stuff. The foam stuff's nice. I don't think it's quite as durable as the built-up kits, whether it's wood or fiberglass. So, but the foam stuff's cool. It's an affordable way to get into the hobby. Just not quite as durable as some of the better kits, built-up kits. Pause that thought for a sec. Or you just keep looking at the comments. The other thing I forgot to mention, because we got right into questions, was we're starting a podcast. Me and my friend Anthony. Anthony lives in New York. I've never met Anthony, but we're friends virtually. And Anthony's got a YouTube channel, small YouTube channel, and TikTok, Instagram as well. He's got larger followings on it. So we're starting our podcast channel. It's called the RC Air Experience, I think is what it is. I just made the YouTube channel the other day, so there is a YouTube channel for it. Nothing's uploaded on the YouTube channel, but the RC Air Experience, if you look that up, that's going to be our podcast channel. This coming Monday, we're doing our first podcast. We're going to get 3 recorded. and then release them. So our first podcast is me and Anthony, just an introduction. Second podcast is going to be the wives of RC. So me and Anthony will be interviewing both of our wives, or our wives, the two wives, which is going to be fun. We've got Steve from FR Sky lined up. We've got Greg and, sorry Greg, I can't remember your wife's name right now. We're friends on Facebook too. So Greg from Boomerang Jets, Heli Direct, Jag RC, Jenny. Greg and Jenny on one of our first podcast episodes as well. So totally fun. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a hoot. So,
What is the orange plane in the corner under the King Cobra?
that is the Super Elan over there. Super duper Elan, as my radio calls it. So the Super Elan is huge. It's 10 feet by 10 feet. Bigger they are, the easier they are to fly. Nez is the pilot in this one. And there's the inside. So this one uses a 240, Sweetwind 240 engine, which is back here. But it's such an easy flyer, amazing flyer. So there's the 240. Yeah. Probably if I was to build this plane again, even at our elevation, man, my thing is driving me nuts. Even at our elevation, I think I might put a 190 in it. I think that would be really nice. Actually, I put a 190 in the Kinetics. So the Kinetics had a 240 in it. I turned that down to 220, and I just put a 190 in there last time I flew it, and I loved it more with the 190. It was a better feeling aircraft with the 190. So anyways, to answer the question, the orange one is the Super Elan from Boomerang Jets.
And he probably won't sell it yet.
I might. For the right offer, I might sell it. They also have a Lancer coming out as well. The Lancer is going to be a little bit smaller than the Boomerang Ranger, but full composite. So everything, as far as what I can see, everything is composite, including the wings and all the surfaces. So that one's going to be pretty cool. The Super Elan also is full composite. So everything on the Super Elan is composite construction. There's no wood on it. So
Tiger RC wants to, do you know if I can use a single Frisky TDR18 on a Rebel Classic?
Yes. I wouldn't have a problem doing it, but we do things a little bit different here. That Rebel up there, if you watch the build series, that Rebel has one battery powering everything. It's a great way to do things. There's no reason not to do it. So you just have to make sure you have your power management dealt with. But on a plane like the Rebel Classic, it's not a huge plane, so it's kind of in that category. We're running it off of one receiver, one battery. As long as you have everything managed properly, is totally fine, in my opinion. But my opinion doesn't always, people don't share my opinion, so. Hi, Nez.
Hi, Nez.
You're awake. Hi, Nezzy.
William says he has to save his dollars for another jet.
That's Bill.
Okay, I'm just trying to scroll back here to find out
Awesome.
all the ones that I missed.
Well, while Ward's doing that, we're going to get back into the SU stuff. So, the end of video number 4. Got to try and keep track of everything that's going on. So, the end of video number 4, we are going to put the canards on. Now, the canards on the SU are not active. They're on little damper units. So I'm going to pull that stuff out and we'll take a look at it. How you doing there, Ward?
Okay, I love RC says he's happy to be the first 2 members of the early video access.
Yes, thank you for joining. That's super cool.
And he said he might have missed it. Which distributor are you using for your Skymaster?
Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry. A lot goes through my head when I'm answering these questions. So for Skymaster, we use Doug Boyle at Jets North. So Doug is located in Eastern Canada, but he does stuff for people all over North America. So one of the benefits of Doug and what he does is he organizes the container and basically fills the container. Container gets shipped by boat, and then he distributes it from the container. So it makes shipping more affordable. But that's who I use, Doug Boyle at Jets North.
And Colin wants to know, when did the 339 come in?
So when we did the live 2 weeks ago, the 339 was here in the background in a box. So it showed up about 2 weeks ago. We've been collecting parts for it. So the turbine is here. The turbine's actually sitting in the box of newly shown up turbines over there.
Testing has to be done.
Yeah, still have to do the setup on it. So that's a SWE 180. The servos arrived this week. Just waiting for our receivers and stuff to show up from Aero Panda. They're Jetty receivers. And yeah, so that's basically it. We're pretty much ready to start on it because we have the engine and we have the servos. So yeah.
Okay, William B wants to know, how do you get the jets? Vendors ship jets to you, and you get hosed on the brokerage fees. And Avery, love the F-16 build. He's a new crew chief. I'm a crew chief of the F-16s
Oh, cool.
in the Air Force.
So Bill, to answer your question, unfortunately that's part of doing what we do in Canada. Every manufacturer is a little bit different. So with Skymaster as an example, that's all taken care of by Doug at Jets North because we're actually getting the kit from Canada. With things like CARF, when the CARF kits come in, we have to pay brokerage, taxes on the declared value amount. I have a customs broker that just does it all for me. I don't have the desire to do it myself because they only charge like $70 to do the brokerage or something like that. So my time's worth more than having to do all that paperwork or whatever they do. So, but yeah, you're going to pay it pretty much no matter what you do.
And guys, don't be scared about asking the question again if I don't get it up.
Yeah.
Because getting a lot of questions here, and Jonathan has to say his piece before, and it's already gone. Okay. It says, Colin says, thank you for the air system tips. Got his valves working correctly for the landing gear.
Ah, perfect. That's good to hear. Get in there, Nezzy. Go on. Well, you come to the door.
So don't be shy about asking the questions again if I haven't asked John on them.
Yeah, so what was happening with that air system was they're using Jetronic valves, and a lot of times if you buy a used plane, people might have a special setup. So the best thing to do with those Jetronic valves is always do a reset on them, and it pretty much fixes most things.
Avery wants to know, when is the maiden on the 16?
So the maiden on the 16, it's part of what we call our 2024 fleet. So that is going to happen at Montana Jets in 2024. So Montana Jets is typically Father's Day-ish weekend, which is like June, middle of June-ish. So it's going to be a while.
And David wants to know where Russell is.
Ooh, Russell. Russell, his mother passed away this past week, so he's dealing with family things. I've chatted with him quite a bit this week, but I didn't expect him to arrive today because he's got stuff going on. So initially, one of the things that I see as a problem here is we don't have space in between the fuselage and the canard. So this should have a washer or something.
Avery says you'll have to redo the weight and balance and all the dust on it, on the F-16.
Oh no, that's fine.
And we still have a plane for sale up on the roof,
Yeah,
the
there's-
ceiling there. Still waiting for people. Come on,
Still a big Skymaster F18 up there waiting for a new owner.
people. Lots of nice stuff with it. John Vid from Nick.
Oh yes, thank you, Nick. I need to find my plastic washers. Any more questions, Ward, or you're all caught up now?
Looks like I'm all caught up.
Excellent.
Just some of these questions I didn't put out there, have to repeat them and I'll get them up.
Yeah, if you guys have any other questions or questions that we missed answering, we're not trying to ignore you. Just ask again. Okay, so according to the manual, these things get set with 25 millimeters of up. Wings.
Nick says that's actually a big shot. Didn't take much to fill it. And
Sure doesn't.
come on. And Edgardo wants to know how many jets are completed but need to be sent to their owners.
Ooh. Well, as of right now, the Rebel's complete. The SU's almost complete. The F-16 from BVM is complete. Those three are all for the same owner. The Hawk is not complete. That needs to be dealt with. The F-18 that's up there on the stand thing or the pulley system, that is complete, looking for a new owner. The Ultimatum 2.0 and the Ranger are complete, waiting for the owner to pick them up or ship them to the owner. And those are my stuff back there. So that's pretty much it for now. Wait about a month.
Okay. Dave Freeman wants to know, will your laser cutter cut 1/4 ply?
Oh, totally. Yes, it absolutely will. And I actually just got a 40-watt head for it. I'm supposed to do a video on the 40-watt head, but I haven't even opened the thing yet.
And he said Algo Delta? Whatever that means.
Yeah, that's the model. Oh yeah, so the Algo one, yes, it'll cut 1/4 inch, no problem. My Creality Falcon one, so that's also a 22-watt laser. That will also cut 1/4 inch ply, no problem. But we did get a 40-watt laser head, so double the power for that one. So, no, and they sent some really cool glasses too.
Avery says, have you all done a turboprop before? Like
Yes.
on a big PC-24?
PC21 over there is turboprop. We did a Sebart wood PC21 a couple years ago. Do you like my shades?
Yeah, Dave says he likes your tips and techniques.
Thank you.
How many custom aircraft have you in the queue to build?
Ooh, that's up there on the wall. Let's take a look at it.
And have you flown TG Huracan lately?
The Huracan?
Nobody wants to believe that it's gone.
Yeah, the Huracan's gone. So here's our list. Actually, here's the video list too. So these videos are already released on YouTube. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 recorded now. So planes coming up. We've got a Black Snake Skymaster A10, big one. BVM F-16. Oh, hey, look, that comes off. Done.
Nick wants to know, where did the Huracan go?
I'll tell you about the Huracan. XL Skymaster F-14, that one's coming, should be here probably mid-November maybe. SU30, that's the one that's right there. We have a large F4 from Skymaster, that's coming in like January-ish. BVM Super Bandit, that's the one that's off for paint right now. BVM T-33, that's my T-33 over there. Wind RC F22. They're going through some growing pains with that one. We've got a Hangar 9 Corsair in a box. Carf Hawk, which is up over there, the blue one. We've got the Havoc special. Ooh, we've got a special project. That one's not going to be a video. We've got the Hangar 9 339, which is up there, and a BVM Ultra Bandit, which is going to be here hopefully in the new year. Lots. That's only like 2 weeks worth of work.
By the way, the ultimatum was crazy fast in your last flying video.
Yeah, that's Coco. It's mental how that plane is fast, but also the amount of G's that it can pull is unbelievable.
Okay, and of course, the old question of where did the Huracan go?
Huracan. So, yeah, the Huracan had an unfortunate wing drop landing.
Tears.
Last week, last year. No, I'm. Yeah, you know what? I'm not. Sorry, I'm picking up a zip tie. Huracan, I'm not overly sad about. And the reason I say that is the Huracan was really heavy. That's because it was one of like the first Huracan models that was out there. They now make a lighter version, like lighter construction. So mine had like plywood formers, 1/4-inch plywood formers, laminated in carbon. The new ones are all using like what the Kinetics uses, because Kinetics is made by the same manufacturer, Sergio Tiesta RCJETs. So there's like the sandwich construction, which is like foam in between carbon fiber. So the new Huracans are way lighter. So if I was to get another one, which I won't because the Kinetics kind of fills the void, it would be a lot lighter plane. Like my Huracan was 65 pounds. I can't remember if that was dry or wet. The Kinetics is 30 pounds, 32 pounds or something like that, dry. So it's an incredibly light aircraft. So, yeah.
But you crashed it.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's
I crashed
what
it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. Happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Happens to the best of us and the best of the aircraft.
Okay,
It wasn't even a crash. The plane was so heavy that I was like 4 feet above the ground and I dropped a wing, and the wing and the fuselage hit, and this fuselage just split into 2 pieces. Maybe fixable, but not really. So, but it was such a heavy plane that it just didn't do very well with that.
And it says wing drop, it looks so stable on landing.
Yes, it was very stable. Part of the reason it was so stable is because of the weight of it too. So it's such a heavy plane that even, I mean, the gyro really helped, but the wind would hardly push the darn thing around, so. Okay, I gotta do a little bit of recording. Nick, thank you. Okay, we got microphone number 2 is working. Okay, so we're moving forward a little bit from the tail section here, and we are coming to our canards on the front. So these are pretty straightforward because they're not movable. There's no servo that connects to them. There's a couple key points with the canards. Number 1, they need to be set with 25 millimeters of up. So up being the back end, up, as in up elevator kind of thing. So what you do is we're going to measure 25 millimeters from the leading edge here down, and that's where we're going to set that up. Now, the way it works is there's this cylinder here, which is like a hydraulic cylinder. So the canard moves up and down through the damper, I guess is a better word to call it. So it's got a little bit of movement during flight, but that's the system. Pretty simple. Let's pull all the other parts out for this.
Edgardo's, he expected the Super Bandit will be faster than the Ultimatum. Do you agree about that?
Yeah, I think the Super Bandit is going to be like that Super Bandit that we're building it's smaller than the Ultimatum. So that's number one. It's got the same size engine. So the one in my video had a Zykoy 195. That Super Bandit's going to have a 195. But the Super Bandit, the ducting system or turbine system, way more streamlined, right? So the Ultimatum, I'm pointing at it because I can see it in my head, but the Ultimatum, your intakes are kind of right here, right? And they just go into the fuselage and that's it. There's no ducting or anything. The Super Bandit, because it's fully bypassed, it's that right there is going to make all the difference. Yeah, that Super Bandit that we're doing is going to be insane.
Okay, here. Okay, oh, he deleted it. Dave was asking you about cloning and such, but he deleted the message.
Ah.
What do you think was better?
Cloning's definitely better. Yeah, if you want to ask the question, ask away. So this is curious. Wow.
Okay, and...
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's pretty straightforward.
Clone versus duplex. Why?
So, a few reasons. Number one, you generally get better signal with a clone setup, and versus the dual path. Sorry, I was trying to think about what the term was. So dual path. Yeah, so anyways, the simple version is in complex or busy signal environments, you're going to get better signal with clone versus dual path. Dual path, the primary receiver, or let's say receiver number one is communicating, doesn't communicate to receiver number two unless receiver number one stops communicating. So that's kind of the first big thing. For me also, I like to have people fly my aircraft. So for example, this year I had so many people fly the Super Elan just to get their very first turbine flight. So they may be great pilots on a prop aircraft. So with a clone setup, it's super simple and still rock solid. But we can buddy box really easy. So I just take another Jetty radio, we wirelessly connect it together, and we can do buddy boxing super simple. So that's kind of some of my benefits, basically.
Okay, and Tiger asks, how fast do you think the Bandit will be? Also, how fast do you think the Rebel will be? Nick said, you won't even see the Super Bandit.
Yeah.
It will be that fast.
The Super Bandit, you're probably... wonder whose truck is here.
Hello, Cool Cat.
The Super Bandit we're probably going to be in the 550 kilometer an hour range, I think. And if we convert, I bet you that's Chad that showed up. That sounds like his truck.
Did your TX RX test change your approach in setups?
Give me 2 seconds. 550 divided by 1.6. So I think that Super Bandit could easily go 340 miles an hour. Of course, that's here in Canada because we don't have speed limits in Canada. So, did my RX test change my setups? Oh, idea on setups? No, not at all. No, not at all. Radio Master actually sent me a radio. So about 2 weeks after the radio test went out, I knew that was you. I know the sound of your truck. Challenge accepted, eh?
Yep. 30 minutes.
Chad, the world, Chad.
Yeah, we got 42 people watching.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I'll pull my Radio Master radio out and I'll show you guys because it's kind of neat. So you can follow me. They sent me a radio. They actually reached out to me about 2 weeks after the test went out and they're like, thank you so much for the test. We'd like to send you a radio to say thank you for doing the test for us, or having us participate in the test. I paid for this boxer right here. So this is the radio that we used in the test. I paid for it. Bill gave us his radio to also use in the test. So I did pay for that. So they sent me this as a thank you. So obviously the RadioMaster performed very well, but I'm not going to switch my planes over to RadioMaster. So it doesn't really change how I'm going to do things. Regarding the Jetty setup, no, I won't change anything with the way I do the Jetty stuff. During that test, the clone didn't perform any better during the distance test, but it's not really about the distance, it's more about how diluted the signal is or how busy the signal is. So anyways, there's the custom RadioMaster radio they sent to me.
Nice.
I basically said, send me purple stuff, and they sent it. So yeah, kind of cool. That's it. So RadioMaster, if you're watching, thank you for that. I don't know if we're going to use it. I might actually set my Spectrum stuff up on this, because I think you can set Spectrum up on it. So.
Okay, we have a guy here. Hello, sir. I'm an Kyle. I really enjoy your content videos.
Thank you very much for joining, and thanks for watching.
FPV truck. Come on.
So we talked about the podcast that we're starting. So Anthony is actually an FPV guy. So it's kind of a neat mix as well, because he's got that FPV side as his background versus jets and stuff that we do here. So it's kind of a unique setup.
I love RC. Moved from the Futaba to a Spectrum. to a Spectrum. Ugh, come on. Good choice, or should I have tried out another transmitter? If so, what's your honest opinion? They're trying to get you there. Come on.
Well, if you watch the radio test, maybe you should buy Powerbox. Maybe you should send a note to Richard and let him know that I suggested he buy Powerbox. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Futaba. I don't have a ton of experience with Futaba, but I'm not a fan of Futaba. I absolutely won't fly anything beyond a foamy with my Spectrum radio. I have an IX20, it's sitting right over here. So there's the IX20. It's a shop radio. It gets used for setting up customer aircrafts. I had a customer I was building some aircraft for, and that's the radio he was using. That's what I've been flying my Spectrum stuff, or my foamies with, but I wouldn't fly any of my big stuff with a Spectrum radio. So, sorry, Chad. Chad flies Spectrum.
He baited you.
No problem with it.
Baiting. That's what that was. That was a bait. Okay, and do the owners will restrict the speed since he can measure the speed on the Bandit?
Yes, the Bandit will have a pitot tube, and yes, it can absolutely be restricted. Part of the reason why we have a pitot tube on there, part of the reason why there's a pitot tube on the Rebel is, when they're down in the US, they can set the speed limit to 199, and the plane will limit itself to 199. So.
Okay, Greg Golden says, have you done the advanced RPAS yet?
No, I have not.
And David says Chad should switch over to Jetty.
Chad definitely should switch over to Jetty.
Yep.
I know who that is.
Bring a couple of rounds, right?
Well, if you're flying the big stuff, Chad, you need the channels, man.
Well, if that F-22 gets here.
Maybe eventually.
Maybe I'll have to try RadioMaster.
Have at her. I think I'd rather see you flying RadioMaster than Spectrum.
Okay.
This is kind of a weird setup.
There's a purple one, right?
Yeah. Although I really do like the sticks on those, like the little grippers. So I'm actually going to take the purple grippers off that one and put them on here because they're like claw teeth, right?
Yep, they hurt after a while.
Yeah, super aggressive.
Because like I say, when we're doing the radio test, it was
Yeah.
chewing up my fingertips.
Because this one actually, and part of the reason, I don't have a problem on my right hand, but my left hand, it needs to be fairly sticky because I don't have a lot of feeling in my fingers or what's left of my fingers.
Hey,
So anyways,
Stacy.
so yeah, it'd be nice to have the super grippies on there.
And Nick says, thought the U.S. was the land of the free, not to speed restrictions.
Not anymore. Nor is Canada.
We're getting there.
Yeah. No speed restrictions here, but our height restriction sucks. But we always stay under 400 feet, always.
Always.
So that's not a problem at all. All my flying this year, I think once I went over 400 feet, like 401, and my alarm went off, so I just flipped it back around and it was no problem. No problem at all.
And Edgardo asked, what was wrong with the compressor in the F-14 in California?
Oh, good question. Something went on the board on that one. I'll grab one of the broken ones and I'll show you guys because it's kind of neat to see the differences here. Compressors. So I'll put it on the table. So this one here actually came out of an A10. So the problem with, I will answer your question about the F-14. The problem with the compressors obviously is they generate heat. So V-Speak actually recommends not using any air cylinders with the compressors. Not a fan of that. So like on the SU here, we're installing 2 air tanks, just kind of the smaller size ones. The A10 I think has 3 or 5 tanks, I can't remember, but the owner of the A10 didn't fill up the air system. He just let the air run. No, we were playing with the gear or something, and this was running a ton, so it actually melted right there, and it was leaking air. So the body of this one still works good. It just needs a new nozzle. The F-14 compressor, something went on the board, so it wasn't an issue here. Basically, the compressor wouldn't work anymore. Visibly couldn't see anything obvious or burnt. So I don't really know what happened, but something on the board went kaput. So what we did was these mounts are glued into the F-14. So we just undid these 4 screws, pulled the compressor body off of a new one, put it on the existing mount. So just something to be aware of with the onboard compressors.
FPV Trucker, the Radiomaster TX 116S Max. Come on, gee whiz. Very popular radio with FPV pilots.
Yeah.
Looks like they sent you the Joshua Bardwell edition.
Yeah, they basically asked me, they said, here's a list of all the options, pick. So I picked like carbon, all purple, they put my name on it, cowboy leather grips, I don't know. I picked what I thought would be cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love RCs. He's going to bed. Good night.
Good night.
First solo flight tomorrow.
Cool. Hopefully it goes
The
well.
private pilot license. Cool.
Better go well.
Yep.
Good luck. Okay. Stacy said hi.
Hi, Stacy.
I know it's a long time ago that he said that, but Jonathan talks a lot.
Word
He's
read slow.
Reader too.
Yeah.
He's slow reader.
Can you see over your glasses there? Your bifocals?
Oh yeah, the rifles are working not that great. The electronics don't like heat, vibration, and water.
Exactly.
He had 2 of those elements in the SF-14. That was from Nick.
So we're Loctiting these guys on here. So these are the ball joints that mount to the fuselage. So just a little bit of blue Loctite.
Okay.
That is your watch. That's
My watch?
beeping. Yeah, it beeped as soon as we started the live, and I was like, "Is that my phone?" That's why I double checked.
Oh, it looks like my alarm's
Oh,
on
that's
for
nice.
some reason. They tell me on the hour. Oops, I'm gonna have to turn that off.
Those are pretty high-end ball joints there. A little bit of side force, and they just snap.
FPV Trucker says, I hope you got the AGO01 full CNC metal gimbals.
Yes.
And Stacy was beginning to wonder if he was still loved. Nah. We still love you, Stacy.
What? Are you speaking for all of us, Ward?
Yeah, I'm speaking for you, John.
Oh, okay.
You're his buddy.
Perfect.
Vid, John, Vid, from Nick again.
Yeah, I have to record this. And this is also one of the reasons why we don't use the Skymaster ball joints. Pause that thought. All right, so we're just prepping our air cylinder, cancel that. All right, so we're just prepping our damper cylinders here, putting a little bit of blue Loctite on the threads, threading the metal ball joint on. I put just a little bit of side force on this and the plastic end snap. So I'm happy that it happened now and not in the air, obviously. So we're gonna change both of these guys out. How long did it take you to decide to leave and come?
No, I was on the way.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Nice. It's awfully quiet without
Oh,
Russell.
yeah. It says your feed has gone blurry, but I can't see the difference.
Oh, it's probably just the signal.
Yeah. Good catch on the plastic ball links. Ouch.
Yeah.
That's from David.
You know, it could be these were sitting in the bag and they were covered in silicone oil, like shock oil, so maybe it reacted with the ball joint. Could have been that.
Stacy says hi, Chad.
Hi, Stacy.
Chad says hi, Stacy.
Smells like air.
Yeah, they need to have a little bit of an air gap in there, otherwise there'd be no expansion room. All right, so we got to switch those ball joints out. Let's check this one. That didn't take very much.
A little bit of side first, and that was that.
Oh man, eh?
And David says, see, if it wasn't for the blue Loctite, you would not have caught that.
Yeah, exactly. Loctite fixes everything. Okay,
Nick
so we
says-
need a metric ball joint.
Nick says, pass on condolences to Russell.
Will do.
Is there any, Edgardo asks, is there any jet or airplane that you would not build again?
Oh. Sorry. I wouldn't build an FB-Jets F-15 again.
Had a couple of problems.
Yeah, there was some manufacturing issues with that. Other planes not building again.
But it flies very well.
Yeah, it does fly nice. No, I don't think there's been anything like dramatically crappy. They all have their issues. Yeah. Yeah. No, not really.
If it comes, you will build it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Velocity wants to know, how do you heat your shop?
Ooh.
In-floor heating.
Yeah, show them a picture of the big old manifold down there.
In-floor heating.
Any problems with it?
can sleep on the floor. It's so nice.
Yeah, you got a Friday jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a boiler in the house, and that boiler feeds the house basement floor, plus our hot water, plus the in-floor heating in here as well too. It is very nice. So now we got to try and find some ball joints that'll work.
Davis says Loctite and CA. It's very important things for building planes.
Absolutely.
Nick says F-15's really stable as 35% of the lift is from the fuselage, hence can land on one wing missing.
Well, and the wings on those things are like, there is no wings basically.
Pretty much.
They're tiny. Especially yours with what's the wide body called that you have?
It's the E model.
Yeah, so Chad's got the E model, and it just is like this big, flat, fat thing with two tiny little wings sticking out. It's a lot of lift on the body.
Especially when you get the ordnance on it.
Yeah,
Thanks.
So short, it's just a big wing.
basically.
Just something to hold in.
Big wing with two rockets.
And a 3.5 foot fuel tank.
Okay, Skymaster.
Walter Mitty is back from the pub at 3:05.
Jeez,
AM.
Walter.
Not too tipsy, I hope.
That's crazy.
There's only one screen, not two. And come on. Steve says, how about a vid on adhesives and the uses?
That's a good one. Actually, I've been planning that for 2 years, and we just have never done it. But that is a really good one. I'm actually going to text myself right now that.
And Edgardo says, he wants to know if you fly in, oops, come on. Do you fly in an RC simulator to keep proficiency during the winter?
No, I hate my simulator. Let me rephrase that. I hate flying the simulators. I'm not a video game guy. So I sit down in front of my simulator. The last time I did it was 2 years ago. I lasted maybe 5 minutes and I was like, this is so stupid. And I just stopped playing. So if it works for you, awesome. I don't do it. It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't feel the same.
I had difficulty getting in front of the simulator and I'm trying to learn to fly.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah, simulator's not a fan.
Nick says you need to do the new F-15EX. What a beast.
F-15EX. Oh, we've got an F-15XL. Yes. One of those is coming eventually.
I think it's an E model. Is it not?
Yeah. Well, based on, yeah, I think,
So
yeah.
EX is pretty close.
Oh, okay, I see.
Okay.
The cockpit, the
Nope.
EX model online.
Okay. Doug 100. He's interested to hear your unfiltered thoughts.
This is the place to do it.
Hangar 9 MB339, the last Hangar 9 airplane I did was loaded with issues.
So I haven't done the build on it yet. All we did was the unboxing. So honestly, I can't really answer that, but I will openly talk about it in the upcoming videos. Yeah, we've got that scheduled to start here right away. We're just waiting for our final parts for it. The unboxing portion actually looked really good, quite impressive. Yeah, I don't have any glaring issues with it right now, but we'll see as we get into things with it.
Is that Arts?
Edgardo
No.
said for him that it's not so good as the field. I missed where he was talking about. a beast, I guess. And Velocity wants to see someone make a 199X F-15 prototype. EX is the new kick arse replacement for the C and D models in service. And surprisingly, part replacement for the F-22.
What?
Okay, well, I'm going by what Nick says here. Okay,
I'm trying to understand you, Ward.
Nick. Okay, Nick says the EX is the new kick arse replacement for the C and D models in service. And surprisingly, part replacement for the F-22.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Because they don't make the F-22 anymore.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And FP Trucker wants to know if building jets your full-time job or a side hustle. It's a part-second job.
It's a side hustle, but a side hustle that I work more than full-time in, so. I do still have a regular job. I manage a construction company Monday to Thursday and do plane stuff in the evenings and basically 16 hours a day on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And Jerron Growmit wants to have you built any kits from RCJETs?
No, I haven't. No, I've never even seen one of their things, their kits in person.
And Nick says, you heard it was right as the electronics do the stealthy stuff.
So hopefully this fits on there. Yes.
3 mil.
Well, it's 440, so. Perfect. So that'll work, but we got to drill out our holes to fit 256, which is fine because it's bigger than 3 mil. So that will actually work out good. And our length on the ball joint is the same, and these are Dubro ones, so they are much stronger. All right, video time. This is how video works. All this video for 30 seconds of video. Okay, so we had our other one break on us, so we took them off. These are the Skymaster ones. Now, just a thought here. This was sitting in the bag. The dampers were sitting in the bag, and there was some shock oil in here, so it was kind of wet. I don't know what they put inside here, but I think it affected the plastic. So we've taken both of those off and switched them out for Dubro 256 ball joints with 440 rods. So these fit on the 3 mil threads, no problem. Our length of the entire piece here is identical. The only difference is the stock ones use a 2 millimeter threaded piece that's going to go through. We're going to switch that out to a 256, which is better. It's a little bit thicker, so no problems with that.
FPV Trucker wants to know what your thoughts on EDF aircraft.
EDFs are fun. They're fun to mess around with. They're really not a great comparison or a great stepping stone, in my opinion, to turbine aircraft. They can be, I think. If you really want to use it as a stepping stone into turbine aircraft, I would put a delay on your throttle. Let me step back on that. I would learn to fly the thing properly so you can fly and land all the time. Once you're comfortable with it, you know, retracting gear, using flaps, everything involved with it, then start adding a delay to your throttle stick. However you do that in your radio is up to you, but maybe add a 2 second, 3 second, 4 second delay. That slowly ramps up, and that's really going to simulate the turbine scenario. The instantaneous power of an EDF is not even remotely close to a turbine aircraft. So, but if you do some of those small modifications, I think they can be a good stepping stone. If you're just looking to fly them and have fun with them, they're tons of fun to fly because they're just simple, easy, quick little things. I've had my Avante, that little guy, sitting up there for 2 years now, and I haven't got a battery for it, but looking forward to flying it. And I scored a nice Havoc over there, the green one. No, Avante's up there.
Okay. Let's see if I can get you. Nick says, was looking around the other day, the cheapest turbine could find was Chinese at US $1,200.
Like aircraft or turbine?
Just meaning,
Yeah, I think. And Velocity Addiction says he wishes he can fly a turbine someday, but they are illegal in New Jersey.
What?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Well, I tell you, I drive 2 hours either north or south to go flying. So
Yeah, Nick says turbine.
sometimes 3, sometimes 8.
Yep.
Sometimes this March, 26. Or however long it takes to get to Phoenix. Something like 26 hours.
but pretty much on a regular, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. 2 hours, yeah.
And Steve wants to know any thoughts on hammer jets and such. Harrier jets.
Harrier jets.
Harrier.
I don't, it's not a super popular thing. I know there's a couple guys working on the Harrier jets, like EDFs. Skymaster's been working on their turbine version. I mean, I think it's been probably
3 or 4 years.
yeah, 3, 4, maybe even longer since that first video came out. It's a challenging thing to do for sure, especially with turbines. I remember some of the early videos from Skymaster, maybe on their Facebook page, where they had this whole like carbon fiber duct contraption all manufactured. And I mean, I don't know, it's got to deal with a lot of heat, right? So, and still be able to move its nozzles. And I think it just gets really complicated.
Creates a lot of weight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing too.
Gromito wants to know what happens if you crash a customer's aircraft during test flights.
If they ask me to test fly their aircraft, the acceptance of that is if you want me to test fly it for you and I stupidly push it right into the ground, well, that's kind of on me. But if, I don't know, if there's a flame out or something weird happens, servo goes, yeah, that's a great example, then it's on the customer.
And Velocity says because pine barrens and forest fires, they're not allowed.
Oh, okay.
And RC Modder, are you still planning on getting a turbine balancer?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know about that.
Yeah, we've been working on that for a long time. It's still in the works. The actual date, I don't know. We're waiting on Swewin, so. Last I heard, we're waiting on Swewin.
Yeah. Frustrating.
Well, I guess. It's always nice if things happen quickly, but sometimes when things don't happen quickly, there's a reason.
Doug 100 says EDFs are great when you want to have fun.
Yeah. No stress, fun, yes.
And cheap.
And
cheap.
And are feeling lazy.
Well, cheaper,
Yes.
depending on some things, but
Yeah. And feeling lazy. Plus, if you goof on a low knife edge pass, it's not a giant piles of money lost.
yeah, that's exactly. So we just drilled these horns out just a little bit and then threaded the 256 through there. So there is the horn ready for the new ball joint.
And Nick says to the fire thing there in New Jersey, it's a bit silly because you can get screaming fires with lipos.
Yeah, oh, big time. Yeah, to shut down turbines, I've never really fully understood that because anything can start a fire. A LiPo can start a fire. It's probably more likely that a massive EDF or an EDF is going to start a fire. A gasser, a gasser goes in, gasoline is way more flammable than our Jet A, diesel fuel, kerosene. So I understand.
Yep. Okay, and yeah, RC says he's looking forward to seeing us with our balancer. FPV Trucker says he'd have to sell his Harley to buy a turbine jet.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
fine. Yeah, I think that's no problem.
Exactly, totally. Way safer.
And more fun
People out
too.
on that road.
Yeah.
And more fun. Sorry, you don't have
No sympathy here.
No motorcycle people here. None at all.
So this is kind of a weird setup on these things.
And you can find inexpensive turbine jets
Wow.
used, you know.
Yeah, you got to remember though, everybody's idea of it inexpensive, like for somebody to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a used turbine aircraft, you know, to some people they've only ever spent $200 on a foamy plane, right? So it's all relative.
Joe has that one up for sale and it's less than half price.
Yeah, that's what is that? A
Turbinator.
turbinator, yeah.
Was a brand new Swin 80.
Well, Walter made it in England. He sold his hog to get his first turbine.
There you go.
Is there an F5 out there, and have you ever built one?
Skymaster has an F5. It's actually a really old kit. I've never seen one, never built one. And also, Global has an F5, Global Jets. CM Jet Tanks, Carlos, he's working on a big F5. So there's a few out there. The F5 is such a cool plane. Like it's a cool plane because it's kind of like a sports jet in a scale body, right? Like it's almost like an ultra flash, pretty pointy.
Edgardo says, by the way, a couple of days ago, he watched the After Dark video on the turbine test of the F-16. He said we did a really good job at finding the problems.
Thank you.
troubleshooting. And Arnold says maybe he'll swap an F-18 for his Harley, for somebody's Harley.
My friend, that's not my plane, that's my friend's plane. He might do that actually. So if you are interested in that F-18, send me an email because
He's a bike guy.
Andrew's a bike guy and that's his plane. So
And Nick says, damn good deal, sell it for top dollar, get 2 turbines, another $1,000 for the rest of the gears. Okay.
And that 18 hasn't even flown, has it?
no.
And Nick says one of the guys where he is has an F5 and it's fast.
Yeah.
Velocity Edition like an L39. They call it the scale version of the Avante.
Yeah, the L39 is probably one of the best beginner scale jets you can get. The L39 truly is a sports jet in a scale body. Really easy to fly. Like any L39 that I've flown, big, small, they all fly nice.
William B says you need 2 hogs for that plane. I think he's talking about the F-18.
Possibly. Okay, so we want to put a triangle thing on there.
And that one has 2 190s in it, right?
Yeah, twin Swewin 190s. Those 190s actually came out of a previous SU30. I think they've got about 2 hours on them.
Any questions I didn't get to you guys, just ask them again. Do you have indoor flying community near you? Tried it? Great way to get your thumbs loose over. Chad says yes, there is.
I do have an indoor flying community. It's right on the other side of that wall.
Awesome. Let's get going. I'll bring my drawer
It's
in.
a little small, but
And the only problem is we're having some issues with our insurance company, Mac.
yeah,
They're wanting to make more rules for indoor flight.
yeah, yeah. There's a couple guys to expand on that a little bit, there's a couple guys that I've seen post. I think that's how it came up. But anyways, MAC is our governing body. They came out and said this past week that they will start approving indoor flying sites under our RPAS rules and regulations and stuff. Blows my mind that they need to approve our indoor flying locations. Yeah, it's
Like
crazy.
If you're flying outside, I could see it because you could potentially,
Yeah.
probably never,
Yeah.
get into an accident with an airplane.
Yeah, it's pretty mind blowing.
But at worst, you have a basketball net.
Gromovich says, any thoughts on the EA BDX?
I love the BDX. If I was to buy another sports jet right now, I really want a BDX. Actually, I really want a Rebel Classic, but a BDX has been so high on my list since I saw Ali Machinchi fly his in Kentucky. Yeah, I love the BDX. And even the new S one would be super cool too, the small one. But yeah, the BDX really does it for me.
Yeah. William B says, how ridiculous is the latest Mac thing?
Very ridiculous.
Nick says, just the feds getting all excitable over this drone crap.
Chad, your buddy wants out.
I don't know.
Chad's allergic to cats, so
He won't cuddle the kitty.
no,
He
no,
doesn't like the kitty.
no Nez
Oh, but
cuddles.
they like me.
Oh, Nez is disappointed and crying.
It's because she knows I'm here.
Yeah, I want to come cuddle with you.
It's like the Pepe Le Pew.
Okay, so I think we're good on this. Loctite. Tightening. Here we go.
Video.
Yeah, video.
That's me, not him.
Oh, you beat Nick to it, eh?
I beat Nick to it.
All right, so I think we're good to go with our dampers here. Now there is no notches or flat spot or anything on the canard where the arm attaches. So it's just a friction mount. So I've pre-done all of our mounting here, and I think it's going to be easier to install that way. So that is, that's ready to go in the plane.
Oh, nobody cares about you, Chad. Everybody's calling for Nez back. Everybody's saying, oh, come on, they want to see Nez. Chad will be getting bigger than what he is now if Nez comes in.
Okay, so I'm not officially installing these yet. I'm just checking the fit of things.
Nick says here, have an E-Flight Scimitar?
Scimitar.
Scimitar, okay, that's
Those
what
are
it is.
tons of fun.
We'll fly prop initially, but intend to do EDF or mini turbine if they ever come done.
Yeah, the Scimitar is pretty cool.
Let's get over here. Probably want to peek and see what you're getting your fingers into.
So I'm just getting these in the right position here. So basically the damper itself is fully compressed in the 25 millimeter down or neutral position. So what that means is the only way that this is actually going to travel is this direction here. So the damper just moves throughout the motion. But anyways, this is the fully compressed, fully down position is the 25 millimeters. So I'm just getting things lined up here. Once I'm happy with that, then we will, first thing we'll do is we'll put some Loctite on our clamp there and clamp down our arm onto the carbon of the canard. So that's what we're looking at. I'm just making sure there's no interference with anything, and that all looks good.
Stacy says, damn, that gear is huge.
Sure is.
You need radio communications to talk to the tail end.
It's huge and it's Skymaster squishy. Very nice. Very nice.
Plane even looks awesome this way.
First video, what did we do? I think the first video we took the gear out, painted the gear. So these were, what were they before? Black, I think, or white or silver or something. So anyways, I painted the wheels. If you can get down there and show them more of the brake assembly on the other side, if you guys can actually see it. Is all painted. Got to go look from the inside. Where are we at here?
There you go.
So that's all painted. I'm going to weather these a little bit as well, but we're going to do that later on. So.
Okay. Velocity Edition says he's a P-51 fan. I think if I had stupid money one day, I would build a Strega.
Yeah, that's a cool plane. I wish Stacy would give that to me as a gift.
Hint,
Wink,
hint, Stacy.
wink,
Come on, Stacy.
wink,
What do you want?
wink.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, ooh, that'd be a nice Christmas present. Stacy, wink, wink. Dampers.
Maccachini did mention that the BDX has something that a RC pilot needed. And about flying behavior, in its appearance, either you like it or you hate it.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I liked it. It definitely grew on me even more after time, but I like the kind of stubbiness of it, I guess. I don't know, I think it's cool. I like it.
Stacy wants to know what servos are you using on that beast?
This one is an interesting mix. So it's got, maybe I want to do that way. So we're using, it's all MKS. So we're using 599s on the verticals and the, oh my gosh. This is, now I gotta actually use my brain. Oh yeah, okay, we're using 599s on the verticals and the flaperons. We're using MKS 9930s on the leading edge slats. We're using 388s, the big suckers with the 8mm output shaft on the tail on the horizontal stabs. And we're using MKS 3850 on the nose. This is a insane servo for the nose, but there's so much weight on the nose of this aircraft that it needs basically the biggest servo you can get. So this also has the 8mm output shaft with the receiver portion, and I custom fit it to the steering setup as well. So it's a very, very tough steering setup. Good question, by the way, Stacy. Nazzy, sorry.
He says one day.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool aircraft. If I was to, I mean, I really want a scale F-16, like a big Skymaster F-16, but this SU is pretty darn cool.
Oh, they're talking about the Strega.
Oh yeah, the Strega.
It says it's here anyways.
Yeah, it is. It lives here at my house, so.
Stacey says you're the only one that flies it.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a struggle. Goes on so easy like that.
You just weren't holding your tongue the right way.
No, I know. Left foot, arm up. But I don't think I want the servo arm that way. No, I'll go the other way. She really once out just tacking the door. Aw, Chad's caved.
I'll die.
What a nice guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Nez.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Nez is coming
Nez!
Nez is back,
Hi, Nezzy Poo.
and Ched is now going crazy.
Hi, Nezzy. Hi, buddy. Hi.
Everybody's saying, yay, they'd rather see the cat. See? There you go.
Yeah, showing off for you.
She's taking the show away from you.
Oh, she looks like she had dinner.
The remaining few minutes is going to be all on Nez.
Okay, so I'm going to video this part. Okay, so we've got the dampers just sitting in there, kind of getting things lined up, and it looks like it's going to be a fairly straightforward setup here. So we'll put our nut, our keeper nut, holding this side on first, and then we've got access to those screws down there because we need to put Loctite on the screw still. So we'll kind of get that snugged up, and then we will add our 25 millimeters of position on the surface itself.
Everybody's saying you should just claim this jig as yours because ownership is 9/10 of the law.
I like that idea.
Nez is just wandering off. She's going to go crawl into a plane. Okay. David says, did you explain the setup of the power distribution system on the SU?
Not on the live, but in the video I did. So if you're a channel member, you can actually go watch the first SU video right now, where we talk about the power distribution setup. Which we are changing, by the way, as we just found out today. No, we decided to put Spectrum in there instead.
Katie was at a volleyball game.
Perfect.
No, so what actually happened was, so we had this was our mid central box. Kind of a neat setup. So we have the front central box in the front of the plane, which is a 300 model. So it's got like 18 channels, bigger unit. This was going to be our mid central box, but because this plane is more simple than the previous one as far as programming goes, we basically ended up having almost everything in this central box except our two flaperons and everything in the front end like gear and stuff like that. So we are taking out the 300 series, putting another 210 in the front, and this is now becoming our primary central box. So we're going to have our receivers going into this central box, and then a feed line, a bus line, going to the front central box, providing the signal and everything for the front central box. So it'll actually be quite a bit lighter in the front end as well, because the 300 series is about, I mean, it's more than double this size, right? So, and it's quite a bit heavier as well. So it's going to be a cool setup, and we'll probably still only use 75% of the outputs on the central box 210. But that's one of the beauties of Jetty is like, you've got this one receiver or two receivers, and you've got two central boxes. Everything's all programmable. Any output can be whatever you want. Like it makes things so much easier. So yeah, it's going to be cool. A cool setup.
And that's the advantage of Jetty, Chad.
Well, I might have some Spectrum stuff for sale.
That's the right attitude.
That's the right attitude.
If you're a Spectrum user and you're watching, it's just, this is all in good fun.
IX20 SE.
Yeah, I've got one over there for sale too. If my my Radio Master works like it's supposed to with Spectrum. Missing an Allen key, red one right there. Nazi Poo, what are you doing?
We'll need more channels for the F-22.
Yeah.
The F-15 took all of the 20 channels.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and with Jetty, you're 24 functions,
Yeah.
right?
Unlimited service.
Nick says,
Exactly.
radio talk, pretty provocative.
Still been fun watching the all the boards out there with all the power box chat. Oh, I know what you want. You want to go up top, right?
They're still whining about
They're still whining about it. They're still calling me stupid and
Oh
useless.
my God, get over it, people. It's done.
Powerbox released their video and everybody's happy and giving praises, and so
William
There you
says
go.
RM16S works with any DSMs and DSMX, whatever that is.
that's the Spectrum stuff.
Oh, Spectrums, yeah, okay. Yeah, Nick says, yeah, people just need to move on.
No kidding. Like, all right.
It looks like a farmer at the back end of a cow. You need a big rubber glove on it, though.
Yeah.
Plastic bag.
Well, I guess since that's the front, you're reaching down his mouth.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that should work. It's definitely a
Yeah, Nick
interesting
says,
setup.
looks like you're a midwife there. Push, push. David says he's got to go. Thanks a
Ciao,
lot, Tom.
David. Thanks for watching.
See you later, David.
Huh.
Who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll meet him in real life.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You might have to cross the border.
You might have to actually come to an event, Ward.
Well, I know. Costs a lot of money. And where can he, Lee Furutho, where can he find a custom Fabio F-15 fuel tanks that Chad designed?
CM Jets.
Yes.
Okay, here you go, sell it.
You can get
CM,
them at CM Jets.
there you go.
They're very tight form fit. Slight modifications on the intake ducting.
Cool.
Okay, I need a little socket set because space is tight.
Sitting at a constant 40 to 44 people today.
Cool. What was it last week?
I think we went up to 40. Last time we were up to 49, I think 48.
Nice.
I think it even snuck over 50 at one time.
Super cool.
And you're getting like, you got 20 thumbs ups. So half the people like it. Half the people like you. The rest of them, yeah.
Okay, so 25 millimeters of down. So now we'll just set this. Sorry, 25 millimeters of up. Like that. And we'll snug it up. And see how she works. And those things just flop around while you're flying. Crazy,
I
eh?
thought they were on servos.
No, well, the air, obviously they're not going to be like, bah, right? Because the air is flowing over top of them, so. But interesting.
I could have swore the earlier version had servos.
No.
I thought they would have servos too.
I know there's people that were talking about it, but yeah, that's just what they do. Just float around and do their thing.
Nick says that much on car meds?
Canards.
Canards? Yeah, Canards will take off on its own.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if these are on servos. But
Then you can adjust them and really do some wild maneuvers.
well, with
Do
the
a very high alpha.
vectored nozzles, like when David was saying when he turns them on, it's like, I mean, the thing just friggin' turns on a dime, right? So
You can make it walk.
yeah. Well, you
Nose
can
up.
do that with the nozzles too. So cool. Huh. Just seems like a lot of that movement right there.
William B. asked John, how many hours would it take to build a Ranger?
The Ranger, I might have talked about it in my last video. I think the Ranger, or not my last video, I might have talked about the Ranger during the Ranger build, but I can't remember. The Ranger's probably 70 to 80 hours, I think, is what the Ranger ends up being, but that was with the light kit. So yeah, somewhere probably 60 to 80 hours as a range.
Okay, Velocity Addiction asked, does the Duplex 12 have the same features as the 24, just less channels?
Sort of. The 16's a better comparison. So the 16 in this view right here is identical. Color screen, the new 16, like the second generation, works with the 900 megahertz as well. The one big difference with the, and the 16 also has 24 channels too. So it's the exact same right here, but doesn't have any of that. Anything on the back, it's got nothing on the back. So you have no access to any of the switches or dials or anything back there. And it's also lacking some of the programming in the radio, which you can buy, but it doesn't have all of the programming that the 24 has. The 12, I have no idea about anything to do with the 12. So this one I'm going to pre-install my Loctite.
Velocity says he's running enough channels on his NX8, looking for a new radio.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to stick with Spectrum, if you really want to stick with Spectrum, I would go with an IX20. But if you want to go with a different brand, I would definitely suggest Jetty.
And then there's Chad here. He has a Spectrum that he might be able to sell, or he can get himself a good radio.
I've had Spectrum for years and never had a problem with it. I just need more channels.
Well, you know what Jonathan says about that? Jetty.
Well, the F-22 that's coming has about 30 servos in it.
Yeah,
Velocity Addiction says for the same price tag, you can go to a Jetty.
yeah. Like if you're never going to get into a massive like F-14 or any of the huge scale jets, obviously it's hard to know. But if you're never going to get into anything huge like that, the 16 is probably going to be fine. On something like the SU here, when you think about it, you've got wheel brakes here, air brakes here, chute mechanism on programming here, canopy here. I use this as my switch for buddy boxing. On the Strega, this is my starter motor. So choke on, push this to remote start the plane. So these do come in handy on some of the more technical aircraft, but you still have 2, 4, 6, 8 switches on the front plus your 2 side dials on the 16. So.
Okay. Okay, Greg, as we have seen the Cortex a number of times, how about a smooth flight for the other half of the gyro users?
I've never had one in person. I'm not opposed to it, to trying new stuff. I kind of like just using stuff that works. Well, I shouldn't say that. I like using stuff that I know works. So we use Cortex here because it jives really well with Jetty.
Thanks, Nick.
Huh?
I'm talking to Nick.
And yeah, so Smooth Flight, I know a lot of guys use Smooth Flight. They like it. I've never tried one. I wouldn't be opposed to trying one, basically. So.
You used to use the Powerbox gyro.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I used to, before I was on Jetty, I used to use Powerbox. I've even got a few videos on how to set up the iGyro 3 Extra, I think, maybe even the 3E model. So.
Okay, Velocity Addiction says he has an FR Sky Tandem 18, but it has signal issues at his field. Edgardo, any update about your next After Dark? Too far in the future, I guess.
2 weeks from today. We've pretty much been staying on the 2-week schedule, so should be 2 weeks from today. By then, we'll probably have the SU should be, we might have the engines by then. I can't remember when. No, we won't have the engines yet for that. That will be done. Probably have some new planes showing up. The Super Bandit should be back by then, or really close to it. So, yeah, 2 weeks for the next After Dark.
Okay. Velocity, look into the twin system. You can add module. You can add module to the back of the TX. It's a dual 2.4 and can adjust output power fixed by RSSI issues. Whatever that means. It's all radio stuff, I guess.
Okay, so hopefully we can keep it in that spot.
How is the fuselage coverings on the MB339?
So everything on the 339 is covering. I think it's Aura cover maybe, but yeah, everything's covered on it. It is all wood construction. The fastening system's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a fully covered plane. So definitely different category than the Ranger is. Like the fit and finish on the Ranger is pretty nice because it's painted and fiberglass. But the 339, a little bit more affordable.
Easier to fix.
Yeah, easier to fix. Nice big wing area. Like I was pleasantly impressed with the plane. I think it's a cool way to get into to turbine jets as well. I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be a good flyer. It's got such a huge wing on the thing.
Greg is saying, good night. It's 11:50 in Nova Scotia.
Good night, sir.
Yeah. Velocity says Spectrum is basically the only stable system that works in his field.
Wow.
He's surrounded by houses with Wi-Fi, so even that has a signal issue at times.
Hey, if it works, use it.
Double check your antennas, make sure they're not crossing over it.
Yep.
Until all the houses have shut down their Wi-Fi. We're flying here. That's not important.
I think Jonathan's had problems with that in the past.
William wants to know the engine that you're putting in the MB339?
That engine is a Swewin 80. That's going in there. So it should be a good pairing.
Eric says he just took delivery of an MB339.
Cool.
Looking forward
Nice.
to that video series.
I've heard a few guys complaining about the landing gear. I mean, I think for the size of plane and the final all-up weight and stuff, I don't think it's going to be an issue. But you know, obviously it's not Electron landing gear, but it should do the job for that plane, no problem. Yeah, we'll see as we get into the build series on it.
Is it a JP electric?
No, they're like, yeah, self-branded stuff. They look like kind of like JPs, but like the sidewalls on the actual retract units, they're bent aluminum.
Oh.
So it's not right angle, right? Yeah.
Eric says he's getting an X-Koi.
Oh, cool.
And William says he's got to go watch the Oilers now. So well. Boo.
Let's take a step back look and see what she looks like. Oh, looks very even. My eyes think she looks even. Measurements say she looks even, but my eyes say she looks even too. Well, we got 5 minutes left, guys. If you have any final questions, now is the time to ask. Don't forget, check out channel memberships if you want to see all the videos early. If you get a channel membership now, you can watch the 339 unboxing, and the first video in the SU build series is also on there as well. So the 339 video is Wednesday. First video in the SU series is Saturday, a week from today. Oh, those look really good. Perfectly even. Excellent. Awesome.
Velocity wants to know if you want to donate that SU to his charity.
It's not mine.
I got it.
Not my plane. Not my plane to donate. But it is really cool. And it's huge. And we don't even have the nose on yet.
Edgardo says, good night. Thanks for answering all those questions.
You betcha. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us.
Stacy wants to know when you're starting the Hawk.
There you go. Dun, dun, dun.
Awesome.
Plus another foot with the nose.
Yeah. Nick says, damn fine show tonight.
Thank you. Well, that wraps up the 2-hour mark. Crazy. What are you doing up there, Nez? Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget, check out channel membership, as I've already said. Also, take a look on YouTube for RC Air Experience. That's our new podcast channel for me and Anthony. That's coming up here in the near future. We'll share that stuff on YouTube and Facebook as it pops up. We've already got our first 3 podcasts lined up for that. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in 2 weeks for our next live.
Have a good night or good day, whatever whichever you are. And end it. Sure you want to stop streaming?